Hi.
Hey everyone,
Hey.
Ron and Joanne, two old farts. And we are here. We hope you all enjoyed our videos Ron worked so hard on the daily videos from our most recent river cruise, first one we'd ever taken. And we're here today to do our wrap up from the cruise, tell you highs and lows, the good and bad. Would we do it again? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
So let's get into it.
Okay, start from the beginning.
Okay, so our flights were great. The flights, everything was done through Viking, and our flights were great. Everything did well there. The first time we hit a speed bump was once we landed in Amsterdam. Found our luggage. Thankfully, yes, all of our luggage did appear, but we could not find the Viking people for the life of us. It was 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And we walked all over that airport, one direction, another direction, another direction, and finally found someone down by baggage who told us we had to go outside of the airport.
From baggage claim.
And there they were.
And they were right there.
Right there waiting for us. They checked our names, and here's your driver. He'll take you to the ship. So we're like, sweet, all right. So we did that. We got in the car. It was a struggle. Getting the big suitcases in and my walker. Nobody ever seems to remember about the walker, even though you tell them. And he ended up having to put it in the front seat. And I feel bad for his sport coat because it probably had tire tread marks on it. But we finally managed it. And it was very early in the morning. Like we said, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And he, as he was first taking us to what he thought was our ship, he took us to the Viking ocean cruise ship, and we said, no, this is not our ship.
Doesn't look like our ship.
Our ship only has 3 floors. So he made a phone call and took us another way, and then it turned out that he couldn't see our ship because the big cruise ship was sort of hiding it.
Yeah.
So it took him a while to find it, but we didn't care. We were there, 5 o'clock in the morning. What do we care?
Yeah. Plenty of time.
Anyway, so he eventually got us to our boat ship, and that was all good. Now, one thing that we can tell you, huge difference from going on an ocean cruise where you're standing in line to do your check-in. You're basically standing in line getting on the ship.
Hundreds of people.
Hundreds of people around you. The Viking ship, obviously they're much smaller, but they took us straight up the ramp, took our luggage, set it aside because people were disembarking. So kept our luggage separate, took us straight in, checked our name off a thing, told us our room wasn't ready, obviously, gave us a little number with our room on it, placard, and they said, just take this wherever you go. Go have breakfast, the dining room is open. You can go hang out in the lounge. Just anywhere you go, put this little number on your table, and we will find you when your room is ready.
Yeah.
We didn't anticipate getting our room till 3 or 4 o'clock, because that's what we're used to on the big cruises. And they never took any ID. Didn't even look at our passports.
Nothing.
Didn't put a credit card. Nothing. Just welcome and go have breakfast. So we did. We went and had our first breakfast. And it was very good. We had, I had an omelet, I do believe. And then when we were done with our breakfast, we went upstairs to the lounge, or downstairs, upstairs to the lounge, and we just
sat there alone,
just waiting. And then we were in our room and unpacking by 9:30 in the morning.
Right.
So we had time that we were going to be able to take a nap.
Yeah.
Because, we had been traveling all day the day before.
Not much sleep.
So that was a nice surprise.
Yes.
So the difference of getting on a ship, on the little river cruise ship, was amazing. It did blow my mind that we didn't have to show anything. I didn't have to show
Could have been Joe
tickets. We could have been
Fred and Ethel.
So that was interesting. And then it wasn't until about night 3 that they said, and please, we ask everybody before the like day 8 of the cruise, it was a 9-day cruise, if you could please stop by customer service to give your credit card of how you want to pay for anything that you might have paid for, we would appreciate that. And we're like, oh my God, what a difference.
Crazy.
What a difference. And you literally had one little desk.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's not a huge big area because these ships are obviously a lot smaller.
Yeah.
But just having the intimacy that you have on the ship,
yeah.
it was a totally different. We were both a little nervous
Really.
because we're both shy people.
Yes.
But it was an amazing experience. It really was. We talked to many people, met many people, and it was just very interesting. And obviously, you're seeing these people the whole 9 days because you know there's only 120 of you.
Not much places to go. And
Yeah.
On the ship, but.
Yeah, and you have 1 hour for meal times. You have a breakfast service.
Everybody eats the same time.
You have a lunch service and you have a dinner service, and there's nothing in between. So it was just very, very interesting. The ship, I have my walker with me for excursions, but I didn't use it on the ship. It would take up way too much room. There's not a lot of room, and you're not doing a lot of walking. You're only walking one end of the ship is all the rooms for the guests, and then you have the middle of the ship, and then the other end of the ship is where one floor is the lounge, one floor is the dining room, and then there's an upper deck which we never got to, which has outside. That's it. That's the whole ship. So it did have an elevator. So we were able to take the elevator down. We were on the 3rd floor, and we were able to take the elevator down when we wanted to go to the dining room, and then back up when we wanted to go to the lounge. So it worked out fine as far as I was fine without my walker. Didn't even use my cane on board. It was such a small area that it was fine. But it was only one small little elevator. So there was only a couple of us.
5 people.
Only a couple of us that used it. Yeah.
But. Yeah, not many.
It was great. The dining room staff was impeccable.
Unbelievable.
Impeccable. And once, I'd say just even after an entire day of breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they already got to know your preferences. And we were one of the first people in the dining room for each meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner usually. And we kind of sat always at this one table. We liked the angle of the table. It was a table for 6.
Yeah.
And so we always had 4 people. We always had 4 people joining us. Yeah, it was an oblong table, so it wasn't
a little bit bigger
round.
So.
It just worked well. And so
right by the window. So.
Each time the waiters saw us when we'd come in, they're like, "Your table's right there.
Your table's waiting."
It's waiting, and we wouldn't even have to sit down. We would just barely get our napkin out, and he'd say, "You want a beer? You want a
Coke Zero?"
Oh yeah, I was having Coke Zero. I tried Coke Zero for the first time. It wasn't bad. And white wine. I learned to drink white wine for lunch and dinner, and it was all right. I did all right with it. But the food, we were nervous.
Yeah, about the different types of food, because we had read that food, it's going to be food of the area, or at least that's what's going to be available for the most part. So we were a little leery about, our palates aren't that extravagant. So, but
it worked out well because breakfast was just general breakfast.
Right.
They usually had
buffet.
It was buffet, and they had an omelet guy.
Or you could order.
Yeah, or you could order. And they had pancakes, they had waffles, they had eggs Benedict. One lady that we met, Chris, she liked poached eggs, and so she would order 2 poached eggs usually, and it was really nice.
Omelets and
I would usually go to the omelet guy and get omelets. Yeah. But it was really good, and then lunch was, again, something that they were serving from wherever you were that day, the region that you were in. And, you have a main item, you have a
salad, soup.
Super salad.
For starters.
Starters, and then you have your main entree, and then you also have a dessert. And they have one side of the menu that you can always get if you don't like. During lunch, you can get a hamburger, you can get a hot dog. or there
Or
was
a
a
couple
chicken
other,
breast.
right,
That
couple
was
other things.
lunch, and then at dinner that side also changed to where you could always get poached salmon. There was a chicken offering
Yeah,
too,
and a
and
steak,
ribeye steak.
ribeye steak.
If you
Yeah,
didn't like any of the choices from the region or whatever the specials were that day, and a lot of the days, we each tried to do what the specials were of the
yeah,
day,
yeah.
and you could mix it up. So I'll try the fish, what this fish is today, but I really want the mashed potatoes on the other side, and they were
Yeah,
great about that.
yeah,
And they were really good about if you didn't eat it all, they would say, "Can I bring you something else?
right.
You didn't like this," or they didn't get offended. They just wanted to take care of you.
Yeah,
One night I didn't eat all of my dinner. It was just too much. And the waiter, stuck over my shoulder and said, "Was everything okay? You didn't like it?" I said, "No, no, it's just too much." So he teased me and said, "So no dessert, right?" I said, "No, no, no, I have to try
gotta
the
have dessert,
dessert."
which were great
Yeah, it
desserts.
was all
Oh,
just really good. I did eat a
yeah,
lot of fish, most fish I've ever eaten in my life, but
yeah,
it was all really good. So that was a pleasant surprise also.
yes,
I
yeah,
think
it was.
I think one of the hardest things for us was eating so late, but we seemed to
Yeah,
do fine with it.
7 p.m.
Yeah,
It was
dinner started at
dinner was
7.
7 to 8:30.
When we never got out of there
So
before 9
9. Yeah,
usually. It was just because they don't, your table has 6, for example, our table that we always sat at, and they wait till all 6 people are seated.
yeah.
And then even though they may have already taken our order earlier, they don't bring
They
the
wait
food. They
till
bring the whole,
everybody's there.
right,
Yeah,
everybody at the same time. So
yeah,
a meal is lasting you an hour to 2 hours. So, but it was great. The service was impeccable. The dining room was
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Um,
You usually have the same two people. If you're sitting in one area, it's usually the same two people that are waiting on you. Since we did sit in the same area every time, we just about always had the same two
yeah,
people, and they were awesome.
yeah,
They
they were
were great.
stellar. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
stellar. Um, the room staff, she was very good. The girl we
Yes.
had,
Yeah.
I just asked her if when she came to do the turn down at night, because she, fill the ice bucket, and she always made sure we had ice for our
Yeah.
evening. When we went back to our room at 9 o'clock, there was always a fresh bucket of ice. And a couple
Yep.
times she did it during the day. They always gave you a tall bottle of water. No
Oh yeah.
no labels on it,
Yeah.
so
It was just a
but it was a
refillable
glass.
bottle,
It was
almost like a
glass.
wine bottle.
Yeah, a bottle of
Glass.
water, and um, I don't know
They
that.
also had, as you go into upstairs, as you go into the lounge, each side entrance, they had a coffee bar um, with espresso or cappuccino. It's a machine, and then they had pastries and or cookies all the time, no matter when you went.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it
There was
was
something there. Yeah.
little pastries or really good cookies. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was, and then a bar. The bar was in the lounge, and then in the front of the ship in front of the lounge was another kind of an eating area
Outside deck.
that yeah. So and I think that was open different hours, a little bit different, and they had like light fare. It wasn't full menu, but they
Right.
did have quite a bit there.
Right.
So
Right. We never went out there.
no, but
Yeah. And we apologize. There's hardly any pictures on the ship.
yeah, it was just
It was just a case of once we got on, once everyone was on board and stuff, you were either all going to the dining room, and it was a totally different atmosphere than
right.
on the big ocean cruises too, to where you didn't see a lot of people with their cameras out taking pictures of food
No.
and doing all the different stuff that us vloggers do on the ocean cruises. So I was the one who was like, telling Ron, no, I don't think so. There was a couple of times because I forgot to pack a sweater, And so I was always wearing my Two Old Farts sweatshirt.
Sweatshirt.
And you could tell a couple times people sitting across from you at the table were like
I'm trying to read it.
trying to read the, our
logo.
the logo
Yeah.
that would be right there, up there on my chest. And I thought, oh my God, I forgot I'm wearing this thing. So I would just sort of fold it over again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we told people about our website, but again, it wasn't the
Not a
type
lot
of
of
atmosphere for, hey.
But I was okay. If you've watched the videos, you've probably seen that most of the footage is from the walking tours or the boat tours that we took.
The excursions that were included, they're all walking tours. And that was another thing that I myself was very nervous for, and had already basically, told myself in my head that I wouldn't be going every day because it would just be too much for me. And it turned out that, yes, it was a lot of walking. And yes, it was challenging with the walk, even with my walker going over the cobblestone, because it was just
Yeah.
But we did it. And
Yeah.
Ron would be filming, I'd be walking, and we went in what they call the leisurely group. So it was
Yeah.
supposed to be a little bit slower and supposedly stopping a little more than the other groups. And there were some days where, man, those tour guides were
They just kept
going, and there'd be a couple of us at the back of the pack, and hopefully they didn't
Yeah.
turn a corner, because then we didn't know where they went. But did it every day. There was only one day that I didn't go, and we were exhausted when we got back every day.
Yeah.
But
So every tour, walking tour, the optional walking tour, was at 9 a.m., basically around 9 a.m. So you have breakfast at 7. You have a little time between breakfast and the excursion, but then at 9 a.m. you meet with your group, and then you set off, and it's just go, 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 pretty much. And then you go back to the ship and eat lunch, and then they have the optional excursions after lunch, and you can go out on your own if the places that you want to go are close. But we didn't really feel like going out after lunch because the morning walk was pretty intense for us old farts.
yeah, and I took a nap every day, and I've never taken that many naps in my life.
Yeah,
But
we both.
I'm proud of us that we did it, and
Yeah.
it definitely was a once in a lifetime experience, and I'm glad we did it, and it was amazing. The port each day you're someplace different, and to me, everything seemed to be the same once, at each port. Unfortunately, because our particular cruise didn't go very far from point A to point B, so we were in the Netherlands the whole time until we got to
Antwerp,
Antwerp.
which is the first.
Yeah, which
city,
was the
first
end of
port in Belgium.
which was the end of our cruise, and so to me, each day sort of just ran into each other because you're looking at the same basic type of architecture in the houses and the buildings and whatever. They're a little bit different, city to city, but for the most part, it was the same thing, and it was beautiful, and it was
very beautiful.
breathtaking, and all of that. But it was a lot of just the same stuff.
But the tour guides were, to me, excellent. They
Yes.
had a lot of the history of the area, little things that they've done, and I'll probably cut this out. But anyway. But yeah, the guides were very knowledgeable about the area that we were walking, and they tried to, keep it slow. But it's obvious they're used to going at a little faster pace. And we had people in one lady in a wheelchair. We had a few walkers, quite a few canes, and I think you can see on the videos that the people there a little bit older and a little less
Our endurance just isn't as long,
get
and
along, hitching their
well,
get along, a little more hitching their get
I
along.
think what they don't take into consideration is you're walking, and then you stop while she's describing a building or
Yeah,
whatever, and you're standing, and it's the standing that ends up what starts are hurting, and then once you start hurting, it just
it
gets
just gets
worse.
worse. Yeah.
And a couple different people that were always in our group, we would be done for the day, and they'd say, I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing this again. Because you're exhausted, you're
Yeah.
tired, and you're sore. And then the next day, there you are, you're doing it again. But
Yeah.
they just didn't. On most of them, I mean, I'm thankful because I had my walker with a seat, so I could, when she would stop, I would sit.
Right.
And a couple of the other women didn't have anything like that. They were walking with their cane, and then when she would stop, there was no benches, there was nothing to
Right.
lean on, there was
Yeah.
there was nothing. Or she would say, okay, let's just come up here to the square, and then there's some benches. Well, she'd be there for like 5 minutes, and then she'd want to get
Yeah.
start again.
So yeah, that was probably the only real negative was on the walking tours for us anyway. It was not enough stopping, resting, and there was no real time. At least we didn't have a lot of time or any time to do any
To do any
shopping or.
shopping, yeah.
Um, so we'd pass these stores and it's like, oh wow, look at that. So which we didn't feel like going back afterwards, it was you're kind of missed out. So you see all this stuff that dangled in front of you, but you can't really do anything about it. So that was one area that I kind of wish they would have been able to let us rest a little more and do a little shopping, a little more shopping.
Yeah, cause I
So
would have thought that, especially if you, granted, we did not see, which was amazing to us, a lot of souvenir type shops to begin
yeah,
with.
especially Netherlands didn't
There,
have.
it wasn't.
Yeah,
It's like all we always try to get whenever while we're traveling is
magnet.
a magnet from wherever we are,
Yeah,
and there just wasn't a lot of souvenir type shops, and
right.
we had basically resolved that, okay, I guess we'll be hopefully picking up magnets for everywhere we were at the airport or
Yeah,
something like that. But we did end up finding magnets
yeah, we did.
almost everywhere we went. Eventually,
Right.
there would be, oh my God, there's a store, and Ron would run in and go get a magnet and then
Yeah.
come back and meet the group. But
But as far as other people, the younger or the more mobile people, I think they really enjoyed it. They were able to. I think other than the shopping, they didn't get any time to shop either. But you don't have a lot of issues. The walking tours are good, and the optional tours we heard from others that they really enjoyed the optional tours that they offer. You do have to pay for them, but I think most of them said that they were well worth it. So if you're thinking about it, take a look at what the optional tours are, and just remember that they're going to be in the afternoon after lunch. And then our extension was very good. We stayed at a really nice hotel that was picked by Viking, all included. You pay extra for the extension, but it was Hotel Duke's Palace, and I did do make include some video and a room review, which is in Bruges. It's close to the main thoroughfare, main areas. We were able to walk. We got something to eat on the last full day, um, and the tour was very good. The walking tour, beautiful city. They were getting ready to do a marathon on Sunday. We were there Friday and
Friday,
Saturday, and
Saturday.
we went home on Sunday. But so there's a little more limited, areas to walk, but not bad. But it was fairly crowded. There were a lot of people.
It was a
But,
big difference in crowd between when we went out Friday, because again, the
oh
walking
yeah,
tours are
yeah,
early morning, and then when we went back to the hotel, and then we decided to try to go back out because we were looking for a couple of the Christmas
yeah,
stores, and it was like, holy
yeah,
moly, this place like tripled in
yeah.
people. And then Saturday afternoon we went out, and it was like the street that we needed to be on, we could see up ahead, and all you saw was massive
People,
people.
yeah,
We're like, oh my God, the difference between a weekday and a weekend was
yeah.
amazing.
But
Amazing.
didn't really affect us. We were
No,
still able to walk
we
where
got
we
there
wanted
and
to, and even though the cobblestone streets are fairly narrow in a lot of areas,
yeah,
but they do have sidewalks on each side.
still
But
cobblestone.
it's cobblestone, and
Sidewalks are narrow. I would say there were only, most of them, what they're calling a sidewalk, was only a little wider than the width of my walker.
yeah,
So
they weren't that.
here I am with the walker, so if somebody's walking towards me, I either have to stop so they can go around me, or I have to go down into the street and then go back up into the
Right.
thing. They told us very early on about the bikes, how everybody rides bikes, and
yeah.
they don't stop, and
No,
you
they
have to
don't.
be aware of the bike, and you have to stop to let the bike go by. And
They seem to have the right of way, whether it's lawful or not.
yeah,
So,
she was right. And so I can remember at one point, I don't remember what port it was, but again, I was more towards the back of the pack, and one of the gentlemen would hear a bike coming, and he'd start yelling, "Bike, bike,
Yeah.
bike!" for everybody to
everybody scrambles.
scramble to the side, because otherwise we were walking down the middle of the street, basically.
And the guy comes right up on his bike.
Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
Anything else? I think we've covered everything.
I would just say, as far as our experience, and we talked with many people as we were dining different meals, and we kept saying that it was very pricey, very pricey, very pricey. And when they heard what we paid for ours, they were like, "What?" So I don't know how ours got so high, but
I don't either.
I mean, to me, this was a very pricey vacation that once in a lifetime experience. We did it. I'm glad we did
Yeah.
it. But will we be out looking
Look,
at
yes.
another Viking river cruise? Probably not.
Probably not.
Can you pro and con the difference of the price of an ocean cruise with 3,000 people versus the price of this, where everything's included? They
Right.
take care of everything from the day you purchase the cruise until the day you come home.
I think we owed, what, $23 at the end?
Right, and that was just because the day we painted the wooden shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have had any charge on our bill at all, because we didn't. That's why I was drinking white wine, because it was included with lunch and dinner, and he would drink his beer with lunch and dinner, and we just stayed within our boundaries. But
yeah, but it was worth it. I mean,
it was a great experience.
It was definitely.
And it just was. It was great.
Once in a lifetime, if nothing else, adventure.
Yeah,
So.
we didn't talk about the room at all.
Oh,
we
yeah.
were in a veranda. We weren't in a suite. We were in a veranda, third floor. We had a true balcony.
305.
To where you could, sit outside on the balcony, stand outside on the balcony.
Which was nice.
And we were like the third room in from where the rooms start.
Right, yeah.
Because like I said, all the rooms are on one side of the ship. It's just 3 floors of rooms. And it was a decent sized room. The thing that was very small was the bathroom.
Yes.
And a lot of people were saying that had been on different river cruises, different Viking cruises, that they were shocked how small this bathroom was. So I don't know if this was an older ship or what, but the bathroom was very small. It had you first look at the shower and you think it's good size, large. Mm-hmm. Well, it was oblong.
Yeah.
So it was oblong. So you had to stand sideways, basically, to take your shower. I mean, I'm exaggerating. I could stand the width of the shower, but you couldn't then freely move. So you stood sideways to soap up and everything, and then, to rinse off. And the two it was glass doors on the shower, and they opened in
the middle
to the shower, right through the middle.
So they met each other.
You could be sitting on the toilet, and your elbow would hit the shower door. So we always pushed that side of the shower door open. Yeah. And then you had your sink area. So and it was a step up, which to me was strange. From the floor of the room, you had to step up into the bathroom.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I commented on every day with Ron was after the girl came and did our room, she always threw the bath mat. She had it opened on the floor in front of the toilet. And every day I would fold it up because I would say, hello, you're working with people that are in their 70s, 80s, and whatever. This is a tripping hazard by putting this towel on a slippery floor, tile floors, right in front of the toilet every day. So it's like I would fold it up and I would throw it into the shower. And it's like when we take our showers, we will take it out and use it. But
yeah.
Anyway, it was funny. So the bathrooms were a shock. But the room in itself was fine.
Ample.
It was fine.
Ample size.
Yeah, it was fine.
The room.
It was fine. So
which I thought we got.
I know I could have sworn I took video of, and neither of us can find it. So
I can't find it. So
I apologize immensely for that.
If I find it before I end this one, I'll throw it in.
Throw it in. Anyways, it was good.
Yep. Yeah.
It was good. I would give it a thumbs up.
So Nora and Enoj, they were very good hosts, but I think they've gone, never to come back.
Never to return.
So I ain't going to be seeing them anymore. But at the end of this one, I don't think I put our painting of the wooden shoes.
Oh, the wooden shoes.
So I'll find that because I don't remember where it is. But I'll find that and add it to this. You may enjoy it. We enjoyed. I think I was only one of 3 men.
Yeah, it was mostly all women. Yeah.
But we each did one, so it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun.
And the cruise director was very good. She was a 6 foot tall Dutch woman, very lively.
Very lively.
Funny. And she was a go-getter. She was everywhere you look, she's there.
Yeah.
She was on some of the excursions. She was on some of the boats, so very good cruise director. And she gave a talk after dinner or before dinner. She would give a little what's coming up and very informative.
And always was trying to teach us Dutch. So every day you got a new phrase to say in Dutch.
I think I included one that she...
Anyways, it was good.
But yeah, staff was all good. So anyways, I think we'll wrap this up. Ready?
A long time ago.
So until next time, we'll be actually on a cruise.
Coming up.
To the Southern Caribbean.
Southern Caribbean on the NCL Jade.
Jade. We've never been on the Jade, but looking forward to it.
New ship for us. We're very excited.
It's the Jewel class, which we've been on. Jewel and the Pearl, but not this one. Anyway, till next time, we'll see ya.
All right.
Bye.